episode of The Raw Truth. I am your host, BX Bad Boy, as always, and today, no justice. Stay tuned to find out what I'm talking about. Let me start off by saying that I'm not the most innocent person in the world, but there's no real justice left in this world. It's only a matter of opinion and points of view. And what I mean by that is that I've spoken to a few people, including a douche canoe I added in a few episodes back, where he said, what is the cop supposed to do? Just sit there and get stabbed, shot? So that made it justified for Blake to be shot in the back. That's his point of view. He thinks that's justice. So that makes it legal because he thinks it's fair. Justice isn't fair. It's right versus wrong. It's supposed to be blind. It's not supposed to have a biased judgment. It's not supposed to have a biased feeling. It's not supposed to be biased. That was the whole point of justice, is wearing that blindfold in the statute. If you're blind, you can't make a biased judgment. You don't know if it's black, white, Chinese, woman, dog, cat, house, bus, dog versus frog. That was the basis of our justice. But right now, our justice is no longer blindfolded. It's now pointed in one direction: vengeance. And if you look up the definitions of justice and vengeance, they are not the same thing. The punishment must fit the crime. Not the punishment is the punishment. Okay? You're not supposed to take any life. That's why so many people are against the death penalty. Because you're not taking one life with another life isn't justified. That's vengeance. Justified is making a person pay for their sin. And that sin isn't a holy God's type of sin. Sin in the generic term of wrongdoing. That's what sin meant. Anyway, meant to pay for their sin. If they die, they don't pay. You understand? I owe you money, right? So you kill me. Now, how am I supposed to pay you? That is the whole point by most people that don't like the death penalty. Because the person doesn't pay. That's not justice. That's vengeance. And we're not supposed to be about vengeance. And I'll only quote the Bible now and again, people that are religious. It's his job for vengeance. Because vengeance be mine. His own words. So vengeance is his, not ours. We're supposed to seek justice. Now, to furthermore go into my whole point, everything, there's no justice. People are hypocrites and able to lie and get away with it. They're able to commit crimes. Lindsey Graham specifically committed a felony. I hear people bitching about it, but nothing's being done. They got the ballot boxes everywhere that are illegal. No one's stopping them. They're putting out more. They say the Democrats are the ones that are trying to corrupt the election, but the Republicans are the ones doing it actually by putting up illegal boxes, collecting everybody's ballots, and we don't know what they're going to do with them. Logically, the Republican Party wants to win. So they're going to take the ballots and, Trump. Here we go. Oh, Biden. That's just logically speaking. And I'm only saying that that's a possibility because it's not regulated. It's just some douchebag dropping off a box. Hey, give me your shit. Not that they will or won't do it, but you don't know because it's not regulated. We have no idea who's picking it up. It could be anybody from the GOP in California. So the difference is, with the regulated ballot boxes, one group everybody that's in the group are the same people in that group that pick up all the ballots. Okay? They're authorized, they're licensed, they're trained. They're authorized to pick them up. The Republican boxes that they're putting are not authorized. And the people that are in the polls department, I forget what they're called, they can't pick up those boxes because the ballots in that box and the box are considered illegal, so they're not even allowed to touch it anyway. On top of the fact is, they don't even know they exist to pick them up because they're not regulated. What justice is going to be served? Probably zip until after the election. And even if no one gets served, it substantiates Trump's claims. It doesn't matter that they are the GOP that are substantiating their own claims by being the ones to do it. It still proves Trump right. So now Trump can say, oh, the election was rigged, because he's going to do exactly what any sane person who's trying to connive is going to do. He's going to claim the boxes were put there and not claim who did it and claim they were unregulated, they were illegal, and then point the invisible finger at Biden if he wins, or the Democrats if they win. Even though the news told everybody in the world that it was the Republicans that put up the boxes, okay? But the channels that speak to Trump aren't talking about it. Shh. Keeping it as somewhat of a secret, if it even made the news for the Republican stations. So when Trump loses, he can now actually be legitimizing his claim. But he's just going to change a few words, like how he manipulated Fauci's words to suit him. I asked my friend, when is enough enough? Before you wake up and see the injustice and the unjust and the no justice. And yes, those all sound very similar, but they're not. Unjust is when you wrongfully do something to somebody. Okay? The unjust, that you don't have a reason to do what you're about to do. And the no justice is that those other two, they get away with it. But you suffer. Whoever you are that the injustice and unjust act has been caused to. You have to look yourself in the mirror with either the scars from your experience or the actual scars from your experience with no one paying the price. And if they do pay a price, it's far from the right price. Like with Breonna Taylor, those cops should have been charged with something because they were wrong on how they approached and responded. Her boyfriend fired one shot. They fired so many shots that they even missed. And no justice yet again. And because her family got $12 million, that means justice was served? No. Restitution was made. That's not the same thing as justice. But if you get restitution, that means something was wrongfully done. That means then the officers committed a crime. Or what are you paying for? If the cops did nothing wrong, why did they award Breonna Taylor's family $12 million? Answer me that. And the fact that they're not talking about proof. Daniel Prue, in my eyes, has actually the harshest treatment done to him. And no one's really talking about it. They talked about Breonna Taylor. mentioned this in a previous video. Prude had a mental instability, which means, for lack of a term, it wasn't its fault. And they bagged him, and they tagged him. I'm being real crude about it, but that's exactly what they did. They put a bag over his head, they ended up suffocating him, and he ended up dying. Hence the dog tag or the toe tag. Growing up, they said I was unstable. They said I had mental issues, all kinds of other stuff. Now, of course, it was because they didn't understand how to talk to person, how to talk to people. They just took a judgment and went with it. No conversation. And at one point, they were trying to say there's something wrong with my son. Not same people, but same system, including his own mother. Like saying there was something seriously wrong with him. Now, if that ever turned out to be true, Daniel Prude could have been my son. Could have been your son. Could have been you. And it's definitely not getting the airtime it should have. If you have a mental instability of any kind, from PTSD up to complete psychosis, it's not your fault. You shouldn't be treated like an animal. That's the unjust actions, unjust. My son is afraid his mother and stepfather are going to allow him to come into harm's way because of their beliefs about COVID being not important, not serious. Like he wanted me to give him all my security cameras. He wanted to take them home and put them around the house to keep an eye on his mother because he doesn't trust her. That feels like. I hope you don't. But I at least hope you have the empathy to understand. I have to send him back there every day after my parenting time is done. And I have to sit here and wonder, is he right? Is he wrong? Is he driving himself nuts because he's got no reassurance? Because she claims that COVID isn't that serious. It's just like the common flu. And she wants to send them back to school into the building. I just don't get it. Even if it was a common flu, and that's what you believe, is it worth the risk to find out you're wrong? Of course, what you get one shot. You walk into that fucking shitstorm, and if it hits you, you can't go, can I hit the reset button? It takes one bullet to die. Are you gonna stand in front of that gun and hope the bullet doesn't hit you? And if so, you're fucking sick in the head to take that chance, let alone have your child take that chance. You know what? I'm 41 years old. I don't care if people agree with me or disagree with me. I lived my life. There's not much more to my life. I don't have a degree to get. I don't have this awesome job to find. At this point in my life, all I need to do is survive. That's it.
My son, on the other hand, has his whole life ahead of him. Like I said, no justice. She gets away with whatever the hell she wants because she's a residential parent. I'm non-custodial. Just like the cops get away with whatever they want because they're the authority and we're just civilians. People get away with abuse all day long. And I brought myself into this. Daniel Prue, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Jacob Blake, and so many others didn't deserve the fate they were given. I don't care what kind of bad person you are. Just because you're a criminal doesn't mean you need to die. It's an old saying I learned. If you die, you'll never learn anything. I want you to learn. The only way you're going to learn is to live and suffer. And don't get me wrong, I'm not referring to torture, but suffer of your own actions. Suffer in the sense that your life's no longer comfortable. You're no longer in charge of your life. You have to now sacrifice or lose all that you once had because you thought it was okay to violate. Like I said, no justice. And I give you one more example. It has nothing to do with any of this. I have another channel, my main channel, where I throw up random shit, dash cams, unboxings, testings. I put up a dash cam where my sister's in the car in front of me and I'm obviously in my car. She's driving, I'm driving. There's an off ramp coming at us and we're going straight. This, what's the word I'm looking for? Bitch runs the yield sign, okay, and tries to cut in front of my sister and me. So we both speed up because we see the dumb bitch coming. So she gets right next to me and I don't let her in. And I start giggling because it's funny because she thought she could just break the law and cut in front of me. And I thought it was funny because why don't you just use the yield sign? It was only two of us. We would have went by, boom, good to go. I have been fighting with something like 50 different people. Well, 48. 48 different people. Okay, 46. A few people wanted to add the dash cam footage to their compilation. I said, go ahead, have fun. But 46 other people bitching at me because I'm the douchebag. I'm the one with road rage. I'm the one that's got issues. I'm the reason why there's accidents because I didn't let her in. I could have stopped. They're right. But you break the law, you don't get rewarded. And you try to cut me off and my sister off, endangering us, you definitely don't get rewarded. You kiss shoulder. Because you know what? If she would have yielded at the yield sign, she would have never been side by side with me. Now, if I would have purposely went exactly the same speed as her and was neck and neck like this, no. Me and my sister sped up. She then sped up trying to get in between us. But I'm the bad guy. You be the judge. But this is my whole point. No justice. She breaks the law. I don't let her get away with it. I'm the bad guy. How's that work? Because you know what? If a cop would have seen her, who would have pulled her over, she would never got a chance to cut in front of me, let alone try to endanger me or my sister and her children in the car in front of me, because the second she would have went through the yield sign, the cop would have pulled her over. He wouldn't have waited for her to get up next to me. The second she blew that yield sign, he would have pulled her over. But of course, there was no cop there, and that's just how it always works. But this is my point. No justice. I'm being called a moron, a little child, a little girl, a piece of shit, all kinds of shit. Merely because I didn't let that woman cut in front of me after she broke the law and endangered us. Because she pulled up beside me and tried to cut in as me and my sister sped up. And then, if you watch the video, if you like, I put a link in the description. If you, as a matter of fact, I'll put it, whatever. Anyway, after we went past it, she then again broke the law a second time, and then sped up from behind me, went around, and then cut in front of me. But I'm the bad guy. I'm the one endangering people because I didn't let her break the law and get away with it. And they're like, well, she didn't break no law. What are you, fucking dense? Running a yield sign is against the law. But I digress. But this is the society we're living in, where douchebags that like doing that, thinking a yield sign means, hey, fuck around. Now, for the record, yield means one simple thing. If there's somebody on the road, you are supposed to come to a stop. If you don't see nobody, safe to go. Unlike a stop sign where you have to come to a complete stop, even if there's nobody on the road. Yield, you only have to stop if you see someone. There was two of us, my sister in front of me with her children, and me in my car in the back. But she just, you'll see. And by all means, comment on that video and tell me what you think. If you think I'm a douchebag, we'll go at it. I went at it with all of them, because they're all fucking idiots. If you want to talk, want to respond here, that's fine too. Now back to the matter at hand. I mean, these are all related about justice. I'm not being political or not political. This is about there's no justice. Because how is that a just act for her to try to break the law, or not even try, her breaking the law and then cutting in front of me? How's that justice? How's that a just act? It's not. That's an unjust act. And I'm not going to let her get away with the injustice of cutting in front of me illegally. Now, I would admit I'm a dick if she tried to get in front of me legally and I stopped her. Then I would be a dick in my mind. And all the ridicule in the world. Give it. I deserve it. She broke the law. She shouldn't have been there to begin with. I'm not rewarding somebody for breaking the law. Anytime I've ever broken the law in my life, from the small to the major to the minor to everything in between, no one took it easy on me. Because it wasn't the just thing to do. Do I get mad at the cop? No. I mean, for his abuse, perhaps. Those who have. But not for holding me accountable for my actions. But what do I know? I watched a documentary about all the people that drank bleach, all the people that have died from COVID and other complications from it. And his face is still there. Go Trump, go Trump, go Trump, go Trump. And even people I spoke to that I believe in here had a rational mind still tell me Trump is better than Biden. After endangering my child, I don't care who you are, from Jesus Christ all the way down. You don't endanger my child willfully and well knowing. That disqualifies you right there, null and void. But now we'll go into him trying to gut Social Security by getting rid of payroll tax. That's covers Social Security, fools. My father's on Social Security. Right now, he's still sitting in the fucking hospital 3 weeks later. You cut Social Security, his Medicare stops, his money stops coming in, and then there's no way to pay his medical insurance or his medical coverage. And it'll just be harder for them to give him the service he needs, which is probably part of the problem that's going on right now. Because Medicare is not covering everything. Because I just got a bill in the mail for his emergency room visit. Really? Why am I getting a bill? Send it to his insurance. Like I said, no justice. My father is a Vietnam vet. He did 2 tours in Nam. He may not have been the greatest father, but he was a decent soldier. And he thinks he's doing the right thing. And yeah, I know the road to hell is paved by good intentions. But he fought for this country. He wasn't drafted, he willingly joined. He deserves to be treated better. Like I said, may not deserve to be treated better as a father, but as a soldier and an American citizen who fought for his country, he deserves to be treated better. Better service, better care. They had him 3 weeks and they haven't given me any direct answer of what's wrong with him. And I asked this before, but please pray for my father's recovery. As much as I'd like to punch him in his fucking nuts, I still pray he recovers. Or else I'm gonna punch him in the nuts. I was raised to believe one thing. It's my job to kill my family, no one else's. And if I can't do it, I'm not letting you. Right now. If he's not gonna make it through this, maybe we'll see past that. Please subscribe. I know that sounds like a bad thing, but I need help. This channel's got 26 members, and I'm trying to reach a bigger audience and get some back and forth. I want these conversations so bad. And yeah, I'm afraid. I'm susceptible to COVID severely. My brother is. Obviously my father is. I don't want my son growing up without a father. And knowing my fucking sick luck, I'd be the one to survive, and my son wouldn't. Lately, I think life's got its claws fucking with me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But on that note, I believe in justice. I believe in honor. I just don't think it has as much meaning these days as it should have and used to. Because it's easier to be evil than it is to be good. And yeah, it's true. It's easier to hate than to care. Caring hurts a lot more than hating, as you can see. But as much as I'd like the pain to go away, I'd lose the love too. And I don't want to lose them. So on that note,